I know I'm a little crash out. So when shit like that, it's okay. The faces are warranted. He knows. If I ain't got nothing nice to say, I'm gonna say something smart and devastating, and then dead. You're dead. It's over.
Okay. So your parents, your sibling never said nothing.
My sibling never. You
Parents never say nothing.
Yeah,
You went.
Yeah, absolutely.
And did y'all
they got to check for it.
I'm not saying.
Apart from checking them, like honestly, this is a very I don't know, personal thing to me, but I'm not mentioning names. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's still my parents. Hey, hi. My name is I Need Money, and I need money. As always, remember, press that button. It's down there. What button is it again? Yeah, not the follow one. It's the subscribe one. If you're on TikTok, follow it. And if you're on Instagram, follow me. Whichever one you own. But remember, I need money. Seriously, money. Please. I love my life sometimes. It's hilarious. When you end up getting in a relationship with somebody, and let's say you invest years of your life, and to a point where, you sacrifice things. And I mean things that really meant a lot to you, because in some form of way you're showing this person, even yourself, that they mean a lot to me. I can sacrifice something so their happiness and mine can come forth, because maybe their suggestions might help, and maybe this will be a long-term build properly together. Now this tracks back from like my parents. I could tell them something very emotionally apt, something that comes from my heart, like, yo, I'm not feeling good about this and this, or maybe let's say when I'm vulnerable about something, just, I don't know, some smallest thing. At that moment when I say it, sure, you can see the response. It's on some, I don't know what to say. You can see it before they open their mouth and they try to come up with some generic thing to say, which is usually their way of a parent of saying, I really don't know. Because for me, I would like to tell my son, if I don't know what he's going through, I really don't know him. But if I can offer help in a form of maybe therapist or something, I could do that. Or they tell you something they don't like about you. Yeah, that's the one that gets to me the most. Like, they're like, hey, you remember you also do this and this and this. Instead of, oh, son, I acknowledge the fact that you are telling me I did something and it affected how you feel, and because of that, I'm not gonna do it anymore. And my bad, I'm sorry, I apologize. Oh, that's not what happens. Instead, it's the ring around the rosy of, hey, but then you did this, but then remember when you said this? It's not functional. And then you have the dysfunction of adapting to that to end up having a partner who does that. And then you accept it to a degree where at some point, once you create boundaries about it, or because of it, you are seen as the one who's at fault for having those boundaries set in the first place, even though you are very sure that you would rather not have your wife behaving exactly like your mama. But yet, the irony is, because you don't know what a man has to accept sometimes, you accept things that are not really in the standard of what it means to accept things that have respect in them. Most people don't even have respect for themselves. So what is it that ends up happening? A goddamn argument for 3 hours, for nothing and for no reason, just because they want to win. And because they want to win, they're going to hurt you, which in most cases, they always use, and I quote, the exact same things that they know can trigger you. So since your mama is like the easiest person to know how to trigger you and in what way to do that, your relationship with her will count to a lot more of your relationships in the world, until you start learning also that, you know what, my mother's a human being. As much as I placed her on a pedestal and somewhere that maybe she might have or might have not needed to be in, but she's my mother, and now I have to see her as a woman. And what is she as a woman? How does she behave? So that you can understand what your actual relationship with women is and how you got to have it the way that it is, so that you can at least start learning how to mold it up and fix it up, and at least, I don't know, put in some effort to yourself, because realizing that you don't actually need to put in effort outside, let's just say it's more free. I'm not offering on nobody no course, no nothing about figuring stuff out. If you want to talk about things, let's just talk, and then we'll just move on with it. All you have to do, by the way, is follow me, subscribe, whether you're on TikTok, Twitch, just follow me, subscribe, and press likes and all that. And remember, the comment section should be alive. But that's because I'm also building what I consider my brand, which is me. So in relation to people actually just breaking their promises on having to feel like a safe space and then using the exact same said things that you said to them to hurt you, oh, they ain't never gonna hear anything anymore from me. Nah, not anymore. It's on some, you know what, this ain't worth it. So I'm not gonna tell.
And it was the nature of what was said, which you know what I mean?
Okay.
Of course, I'm the man of degrees, and I ain't talking about school. I'm talking about,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's degrees to this shit, but there is definitely gonna be a dent. There was times when my parents used shit against me, and I look at them and like, hey, I will never tell you shit ever.
And when you tell the person, not just the parent, especially someone you really do like, let's just say they're your friend and all that I don't appreciate it when you do shit against me, especially things that you know that I told you in person or private, and they should stay that way. The sad part about it is, once someone like that breaks that barrier, you don't have any barrier to not say anything about them either. But the thought about it is, you will never actually get to hear how I feel about things anymore. You'll just get the typical nonsensical responses that mean nothing to me, so that we can just, carry this whole thing on.
A couple of months back, my mom told me, why don't you tell me that thing? I'm like, I don't do anything because you lost that privilege a long ass time ago.
Okay.
That's you. You use shit against people.
But when someone loses a privilege for you,
It is a privilege to have to be vulnerable. And now, when you let someone, let's say a woman or a man or a friend or your parents, in the house, your place of safety, and you give them the things that make you feel weak and depressed, or let's just say vulnerable, it becomes either up to them to see that they should respect what you told them and not say anything about it, or what they will do instead is be a vindictive human being who will wait to use that as ammunition, in which case they ain't getting nothing anymore. I mean, what's the point? Why even waste your time on shit like that?
Never get it back.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But for that,
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to change you, so I'm gonna change me. Because I know you're gonna go back to that. That's you. You old.
Yep.
You can't change.
You think old people can't change?
No, I think they can't change.
Honestly, I tried for years to try and get my grandmother to understand and accept that, some of the things she's saying ain't coming out that well. And no matter how she can assume that being an adult means that ultimate respect, so no matter what I say to you, you're gonna have to take it and grin it with your teeth. Fuck no. That's not how things work. That's not how. And the fact that I had to learn how certain things work by making millions of mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes. Oh, I wish I didn't. But here I am, at least learned enough with scars that I can provide and teach my children. And, I don't know, grow up understanding that life is not that. But I've given up. I mean, hell, I don't even talk to my grandmother. We don't even have a conversation. We barely ever have one. It's nah, I'm good. I'd rather have one. I'd rather just be.
You're gonna do it again.
Fair.
You're gonna do it. In order for me to keep on loving you, you're not gonna change. I'm gonna change. You're not gonna know shit. How am I gonna be able to make this work? Okay, without having to constantly hate you for the shit that you do. Cause I know I'm a little crash out.
Sometimes loving people means that you need to be able to actually be like out of your own comfort zone sometimes, and sometimes you need to be out of their lives, like completely. Just, you love them? Yeah, I love you too much that I gotta go, okay? I love you, but I gotta go. And before I think about doing anything harmful that I do not want to do, I might as well just leave. Or say anything harmful, I might as well just and leave. Because if I let you have that position to do that all the time, you're gonna be messing with me, and you're gonna play around with it as if, hey, it's an acceptable thing. This is not acceptable. So what do you think I'm gonna do? Accept it? Fuck no. Oh, and by the way, I'm multitasking. I'm on TikTok and YouTube. So I'm doing a YouTube video. For anyone who's watching my TikTok, make sure you go to my YouTube to watch this entire video. You're probably not gonna see my face. You'll see my face on TikTok. If only I could take the TikTok video and put it on YouTube and add both those things together. Blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't matter. Going back to this, I crash the hell out sometimes. Not all the time, just when, let's say I have something called OCD. I have seen and observed and understood how it works around me, and I've seen that no matter how many chances you give someone, if they mess with something once, and especially when you have an issue, it always just keeps repeating itself all the time.
And when I know I'm a little crash out, so when shit like that, it's okay. The faces are warranted. He knows. And when I try to stay calm, it's not because I'm afraid of what I'm gonna say or do, and I want to go there. So I'll change.
I don't have previous parents. I see my parents change, and so I think even as they got older, I don't share that same sentiment. I believe people can change, but I think I do agree with him that you may never go back, but you can go to something different, and that's okay too. Everyone has their own lines. There's no right answer to this. I can't tell somebody else what is acceptable, what's not within.
Yeah, and within somebody's parameter of knowledge and life, the ironic part of it is the fact that you can't tell anyone how to live their own life, but then most people are trying to find advice about how to live their life, even though they do not even know themselves, okay? They don't even have the time to want to get to know themselves, hell, let alone want to sit down and say, hey, what's going on with me? Who am I? That doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Either way, people move on from it. You know why? Because facing yourself is way harder than it is to acknowledge that you did something messed up, okay? And if you want at any point in time to have any form of successful relationship, honestly, what I can tell you is try your best to understand the person and have the person understand you enough to care. But with that being said, this is the end of that video. You need to subscribe. It's kind of fun doing this because it isn't truly scripted, but it is the expression of who I am. Anyway, we're out.
I say nothing for no reason, trying to capture the feeling. Baby, I think you're a demon. Baby, I know you're a demon, but it's what it is. You did what you did. Broke my feelings again. I'm taking the pills to do